As a leader in the Canadian specialized transportation industry for over 35 years, NCSG Crane and Heavy Haul was commissioned to transport 2 demethanizer towers sequentially in the summer of 2022 from Edmonton, Alberta to Mariana Lakes, Alberta, approximately 385 miles apart. Rather than the most direct route, NCSG utilized Alberta's high-load corridor. The high-load corridor consists of designated highways that have the overhead utility lines raised to accommodate loads up to 9 meters high unless noted otherwise. The government funded the initial corridor construction, with the costs recovered from the users of the corridor through permit fees. The tower dimensions were 182 feet long, 15 feet 10 inches wide, and 17 feet 7 inches tall, each tower weighing 562,452 pounds. Overall transport dimensions were 348 feet 10 inches long, 22 feet wide, and 24 feet 2 inches tall. Initial project discussions and planning began 2 years prior in the summer months of 2020. NCSG was officially awarded the project on September 1, 2021. Once awarded the project, NCSG Crane and Heavy Haul went to work, assembling a team including a project manager, permit coordinator, logistics specialist, engineers, and crew members.
What sets NCSG apart from other companies would be our people and their willingness to find solutions for our customers' problems.
In its 35-year history, having never before completed a bunked 4-file utilizing a hydraulic trailer setup, nor transporting a load of this weight or magnitude, NCSG had to step outside of their comfort zone and deliver creative solutions for their client. The team worked efficiently and effectively, conducting route studies, applying for necessary permits, fabricating a custom steering frame, overcoming supply issues in order to source high-friction load securement rubber out of Eastern Canada, and even worked in partnership with a fellow SC&RA member to source turntables and modify saddles, customizing them to the shape of the tower. The custom-built adjustable steering frame that NCSG had designed and fabricated was extremely innovative. The frame was designed to keep the rear trailer in alignment with the tower and lead truck along straightaways and minor curves in the road while maintaining consistent speed. The steering frame was also a safety and efficiency innovation, as it eliminated the need for a steering operator for the bulk of the transport. The steering operator was only required along tight curves and at critical locations where the hitch was first disconnected. The final configuration utilized 368 wheels with a 4-file, 14-line consecutive axle hydraulic platform trailer in the front, a 2-file, 18-line consecutive axle hydraulic platform trailer in the rear, 1 pull truck, 2 push trucks, 1 assist truck, 2 supervisors, and 5 pilot vehicles. Despite efforts in the planning, coordination, and customization phase, the original schedule was pushed back to October and November, as tower fabrication and site preparation had taken longer than anticipated. Due to the delay in schedule, NCSG had to search for assistance in sourcing a gantry and SPMT for loadout, as NCSG's equipment was committed to other projects on the new loadout dates. Working diligently with the first 2 moves approaching, NCSG was able to overcome a second and third hurdle: a power pole impeding the path of transport and a culvert on the route to the high-load corridor. With the assistance of a third-party company, NCSG was given clearance that the culvert had the capacity to cross based on the transport configuration. Working alongside the City of Edmonton and utility crews, NCSG was also able to have the power pole removed just 3 days before the first tower was scheduled to pull out of the fabrication facility. In October of 2022, the first of 2 demethanizer towers was now completely fabricated and ready for transport. One of the biggest complications for NCSG came before Tower 1 even hit the highway. Due to their sheer size and weight, removing these towers from the facility onto the trailers for transportation was no easy feat.
Utilizing gantries was the plan to get the tower loaded onto SPMTs. We initially had to set up the gantry, install the saddles, and then load onto the SPMTs, and then we were able to pull it out of the shop.
With a full police escort and the first tower loaded and secured, NCSG was en route to the high-load corridor. The last obstacle in the superload's path was a railway crossing. NCSG enlisted the support of the Canadian National Railway to supervise, oversee, and time the superload's crossing to ensure safety was maintained and train schedules were not impacted. NCSG also enlisted the support of a third-party engineering firm who followed the load to monitor each of the 10 bridge crossings along the route. Over the tracks and onto Alberta's high-load corridor, it was smooth sailing and business as usual for the experienced NCSG team and supporting companies. From the fabrication shop to site, the transport was completed over 5 days with 4 predetermined staging locations along the route. With safety being NCSG's #1 core value, a toolbox talk was held each morning with all crew and supporting members to discuss the route plan, propose staging areas, answer any questions, and ensure all crew members were working in unison toward one common goal: reaching the next checkpoint safely.
Once we've planned it out, figured out the trailers and the trucks and what we need there, we bring in the field staff, right? We kind of go over all our kind of hazards that would come up, how we're going to mitigate them. We'll put that into a THA format, which the guys will read through and stuff like that. When they get to the load actually itself, at that time we'll do a tailgate meeting, which involves your pilots, police, trucks, anyone that's involved with that load will be there, and that'll be done daily.
Prior to departure each day, bolts were checked for securement and to ensure the nuts on the bolts were not rotating. A special hydraulic torque wrench was sourced to tighten any bolts required throughout the duration of the transport. This hydraulic torque wrench had the capacity to tighten bolts of 6 inches in diameter. Throughout the transport and for additional safety, NCSG added the support of a second rear pilot vehicle to notify drivers of the slow-moving superload ahead. The convoy was also advertised online and across local radio stations through Alberta 511, keeping the general public informed throughout both the moves for their safety and planning. Throughout the duration of transport, neither of the 2 loads exceeded a speed of 25 miles per hour. Upon exiting the high-load corridor, NCSG was presented with the challenge of navigating an extremely tight road with sharp corners.
During the planning stage, the road from Highway 63 onto the site road was quite concerning. And due to us not being able to place civil there, additional swamp mats were placed in the corner where the lead driver was planning his turn.
After meticulously navigating the tight roads into sight, the tower was carefully offloaded and set into place. The support equipment and bands were delicately unbolted and saved for the second transport. The NCSG team then mobilized back to Edmonton for preparation and transportation of Tower Number 2. With 2 weeks to reset between loads, a winter storm had rolled through Edmonton, dumping snow and freezing roads, making conditions and safety much more complex. Upon careful extraction from the fabrication shop, NCSG was ready to roll with the second tower. The City of Edmonton did not have enough time to clear the roads of snow prior to the second tower's departure, so it was up to NCSG to chain up the trucks for additional traction and coordinate a tow truck company to remove parked vehicles along the route from the fabrication shop to the highway. With the assistance of a second police escort, the tower arrived at the first checkpoint, where it would depart for the high-load corridor the following morning. Due to the winter storm and road conditions, NCSG had to quickly secure additional approvals from the Alberta Transportation Department for the use of an extra pull truck to cross the Duvernay Bridge. The extra pull truck was required for both traction across the icy bridge as well as the 5% grade that followed the river crossing.
Yeah, so a load of this magnitude, starting at the planning stages, like we've picked the proper trailers, the bunks, tie downs. We want to ensure that when it leaves the factory that it's showing up at site how it left. So that involves a lot of engineering, involves a lot of route studies, driving the route, ensuring that there is no obstacles in the way that we're going to hit. So that's a whole team effort. The idea and the knowledge and the culture within our group is that we all get home safe. And we can do that by working together, all rowing the boat in the same direction. And that's our whole team motto, team culture here, right? When we're safe at work, we're safe at home. We want to see everyone back. We're a big family.
After exiting the high-load corridor, the NCSG crew meticulously navigated the final leg of the journey down the narrow road and tight turns leading to site. With a combined 2,326 man-hours from project managers, engineers, permitting teams, and crew members, NCSG met every challenge safely and successfully, completing the project on schedule and within budget with no recordable injuries, illnesses, accidents, incidents, or damage to property or equipment.
In our 35-year history, these two transports are the longest and the heaviest loads we've ever transported over the road. I couldn't be more proud of everyone involved in this project. It's certainly one we'll never forget.
This project would not have been possible without NCSG's clients, partners, and supporting companies who worked diligently providing expertise and industry best practices, including Alberta Transportation, Canadian National Railway, City of Edmonton, Edmonton Police, Geometrics, Headwall Engineering, NextGen Transport, Premay Equipment, and CAN Traffic. NCSG would also like to thank their customers, Wolf Midstream and Thermo Design Engineering, for trusting them with this project. NCSG Crane and Heavy Haul, inspiring solutions.